Every day, millions of people light a cigarette. But have you ever wondered where cigarettes really came from? From ancient sacred rituals to wars, movies, and billion-dollar industries, cigarettes changed human history in ways most people never imagined. In this video, we'll uncover the complete history of the cigarette, how it was invented, who made it popular, and why the world is now turning away from it. Stay till the end, because this story might change the way you see smoking forever.
Before cigarettes existed, humans were already smoking thousands of years ago. The story of cigarettes begins not in factories, but in ancient civilizations. Around 5000 to 3000 BC, indigenous people of the Americas were the first known humans to smoke plants. They didn't smoke cigarettes as we know them today. Instead, they used tobacco leaves in pipes, rolled leaves, or burned them during religious and spiritual rituals. For these ancient tribes, smoking was sacred, not recreational. They believed tobacco smoke could connect them to spirits, heal diseases, and carry prayers to the gods. Archaeological evidence shows tobacco use among the Maya, Aztec, and other Native American cultures. Tobacco was considered a powerful and holy plant. At this time, smoking had no addiction, no mass production, and no business behind it. It was purely cultural and spiritual. This ancient practice would later change the world forever. In the next part, we'll see how tobacco traveled from the Americas to Europe and changed history.
From New World rituals, tobacco's smoke drifted across the Atlantic.
The next major chapter in the history of cigarettes begins in 1492. When Christopher Columbus reached the Americas, his crew noticed something strange. Native people were burning dried leaves and inhaling the smoke. At first, Europeans were confused and even afraid of this practice. But curiosity quickly turned into fascination. Sailors brought tobacco leaves and seeds back to Spain and Portugal. By the early 1500s, tobacco spread across Europe. People believed it had medicinal powers. Doctors claimed it could cure headaches, toothaches, stomach pain, and even plague. Tobacco was smoked in pipes, sniffed as snuff, or chewed. Cigarettes still did not exist. Smoking soon became fashionable among royalty and the upper class. Kings, queens, and nobles proudly used tobacco, helping it gain social status. Despite some religious leaders calling it sinful, tobacco use continued to grow rapidly. What started as a sacred ritual in the Americas was now becoming a global habit. In the next part, we'll see how the modern cigarette was finally born.
For hundreds of years, people smoked tobacco in pipes, cigars, or as snuff. The cigarette, as we know it today, did not exist yet. The modern cigarette was born in the early 1800s, during the Napoleonic Wars. Spanish soldiers noticed poor civilians in Seville collecting leftover cigar tobacco. They wrapped the loose tobacco in thin paper and smoked it. These paper-wrapped smokes were called cigarritos, which later became the word cigarette. This new form of smoking was cheap, portable, and fast. Anyone could afford it. By the mid-1800s, cigarettes spread across Spain and France, especially among workers and soldiers. Cigarettes were smaller, lighter, and easier to smoke than cigars, perfect for modern life. What began as a poor man's alternative was about to become a global industry. In the next part, machines will turn cigarettes into a mass-produced product. Until the late 1800s, cigarettes were rolled by hand. This made them slow and expensive to produce. Everything changed in 1880, when James Albert Bonsack, an American inventor, created the first successful cigarette-making machine. The Bonsack machine could produce over 200 cigarettes per minute, something impossible by hand. This invention reduced costs dramatically and allowed companies to sell cigarettes cheaply and in massive quantities. One man quickly saw the opportunity: James Buck Duke. He used the machine to build one of the largest tobacco empires in history. Cigarettes became widely available, and smoking spread to all social classes. Colorful packaging and branding appeared for the first time, turning cigarettes into a consumer product rather than a handmade item. Smoking was no longer just a habit, it was now a global industry. In the next part, cigarettes march into wars and reshape society. The early 20th century changed cigarettes forever. During World War I and World War II, cigarettes became a part of soldiers' daily lives. Governments included cigarettes in military rations, believing they reduced stress and improved morale. Soldiers smoked in trenches, camps, and battlefields. Cigarettes became symbols of comfort and brotherhood. When soldiers returned home, they brought the habit with them. Smoking spread rapidly among civilians, including women, for the first time in history. War turned cigarettes into a national habit and a symbol of strength and survival. Next, cigarettes enter their golden age. From the 1920s to the 1950s, cigarettes reached their golden age. Tobacco companies used aggressive advertising. Doctors, athletes, and movie stars were shown smoking. Hollywood made cigarettes look cool, glamorous, and powerful. Famous actors smoked on screen, and smoking became a symbol of confidence and rebellion. Slogans claimed cigarettes were healthy, calming, and even good for the throat. Smoking became socially accepted everywhere: offices, planes, hospitals, and homes. This was the peak of cigarette popularity, but danger was silently growing. In the next part, science reveals the truth. In the 1950s and 1960s, scientists began discovering a shocking truth. Cigarettes were linked to lung cancer, heart disease, and addiction. In 1964, the US Surgeon General officially declared smoking dangerous to health. Governments responded with warning labels, advertising bans, and public health campaigns. Cigarette commercials disappeared from television. Smoking slowly lost its glamorous image and became seen as a serious health risk. This marked the beginning of the decline of cigarettes. But the story doesn't end there. In the modern era, cigarette use is declining worldwide. Smoking bans now exist in public places, restaurants, and workplaces. High taxes and graphic warning images discourage smokers. New alternatives like e-cigarettes and vaping have emerged, changing nicotine consumption again. Today, cigarettes are widely recognized as dangerous and addictive. What began as a sacred ritual thousands of years ago became a global industry and is now slowly fading. The history of cigarettes is a powerful reminder of how culture, business, and health can shape the world. This is the full journey of the cigarette. Cigarettes began as a sacred plant. They became a global industry and are now known as one of the deadliest habits in human history. This journey shows how culture, profit, and science can shape our lives, often before we realize the consequences. If you found this video informative, like and share it so others can learn the truth too. Subscribe for more deep stories from history, science, and society. Thanks for watching, and remember, every habit has a history.